In this video, we're going to be learning the double crochet stitch, which is basically the taller version of the single crochet stitch. Just like with the single crochet, the double crochet is one of the basic stitches in crochet, and you will see it used a lot in various crochet patterns, often in conjunction with the single crochet stitch. Just like we did with our single crochet stitch, we're going to start off by making sure we have our yarn tight around our finger, giving it some tension, and use the rest of our fingers and thumb to hold our project steady so that it's not moving around and loose as we're trying to crochet. So just like the single crochet, we're going to start off with one loop on our hook. However, there is an extra step to take before inserting the hook straight into the project, unlike with single crochet. So if you remember, the single crochet, we went right into the project, brought the yarn over, pulled it through for the 2 loops, and then pulled the yarn through those 2 loops. For the double crochet, instead of going straight into the project, we're going to bring the yarn from back to front around the hook, leaving 2 loops on the hook before going into the project. 1 loop from the actual stitch that's on the hook, and the other loop created by bringing the yarn from back to front over the hook. So now we'll go ahead and put it through the stitch we're crocheting into, always making sure that we've got it through both loops of the stitch, unless otherwise noted in your pattern. And then we'll do the same thing we did with the single crochet stitch and bring the yarn from back to front around the hook, catch it, and draw it through. Now with the double crochet stitch, you'll notice that we now have 3 loops on the hook. We don't want to bring the yarn through all 3 loops at once. We want to go from back to front as we usually do, but only draw it through the first 2 loops. So now your new loop will be on your hook along with the first loop, giving you 2 loops left on the hook. So you'll go ahead and go from back to front again and draw through those 2 loops. And this gives you your single double crochet stitch. So we bring from back to front around so that we have 2 loops. Go in through the stitch here, back to front again, come through the project, make sure that we have 3 loops on the needle now, on the hook now, back to front around, pull through just the first 2 loops, and then back to front again for the last 2 loops. So when you go to pull through the loops at the end of your stitch, you will always be pulling through just 2 loops. First the first 2 loops, and then the only 2 loops left. Now as you can see, I've got 2 rows of single crochet at the bottom here, and then 1 row of double crochet at the top here. And if I fold this in half, you can see that the 1 double crochet stitch is about the height of 2 of the single crochet stitches. Many patterns will alternate between single crochet rows and double crochet rows to give a little bit of texture to the pattern. One thing you will notice about the double crochet stitches is there is more open space between each stitch than there is with the single crochet. The single crochet stitches will give you a denser fabric, a little bit of a stiffer fabric, whereas the double crochet will be a little bit more open and kind of flow a little bit better. Both of them are used in a wide variety of patterns: hats, scarves, sweaters, mittens, and the choice of stitch depends a lot on how much air you want in between, and also how fast you'd like to be able to crochet your project, because a project made of double crochet stitches will go faster than a project made of single crochet since they are twice as tall. Alright, so just to recap, we created our double crochet stitches by having one loop already on the hook, bringing the yarn from back to front around, sticking through the stitch, making sure we have both of our loops of the stitch on the poked through, back to front again, pull it through the stitch, bring the yarn over, pull through just the first two loops, and then bring the yarn over again and pull through the last two loops. So that's the double crochet. Thank you for watching, and make sure to check out our other videos for other tips and techniques.